Hi, good evening, everyone, and thank you for taking time to join us at the very first Hack Singapore Hackathon Pre-Hackathon Community Event. That is about introducing what Hack Singapore is. Thank you for all for taking the time to join us today. And my name is Justin, and I'll be the host for today. So before we begin, to dive deeper into what Hack Singapore is, I would like to really thank I'm Dave for being part of the sponsor to power this hackathon, followed by a list of community partners who have jointly helped us to really make this hackathon together and really to shape the program agenda and to provide an outreach for this hackathon itself. So thank you very much. So what is Hack Singapore? Before we begin on Hack Singapore, I would really like to mention that we would like to have your questions answered later on during the session itself. So basically what you can do is to do two things. One, to actually open your browser and head on to mentimeter.com and key in the code that you see on the screen, which is 4480-73745, where you'll be able to drop your questions anytime during the session, and I'll answer that later on as well. We will have a Ask Me Anything session where any questions about the hackathon will be answered as well. So alternatively, you can actually scan the QR code as well, which can be handy on your mobile phone to kind of drop the questions much easier at any point of time as well. So before we begin, just going to introduce you a little bit more about the Hack Singapore team. Joining us today in today's session, we have Zil, who is our engagement manager. My name is Justin, and I'm the project manager for the hackathon. And last but not least will be Munira, who is the marketing manager. Throughout this whole hackathon period, you'll really hear a lot from the three of us, be it on our official channels, on Slack or Telegram, or even into your mailbox. You will definitely keep a lookout for these three names that you'll be hearing more often than not. Also will be your point of contact for anything that is hackathon as well. So Hack Singapore, also known as Hack SG, to make it more easier and less of a mouthful. We really have four objectives over here that we really want to achieve. One of it is really to create an environment where all participants and team members will be able to tackle real world problems through emerging technologies such as blockchain and trust, no code, low code, and last but not least, on the area aspect of gaming. It's really a space, breeding ground for lots of ideas, and we really want to test new innovative ideas through the project submissions that you have to kind of propel Singapore's tech ecosystem forward as well. Of course, of all hackathon, we have a single objective, which is really to build an inclusive community where both tech and non-tech talents will be able to come together to rack your brains and have lots of eureka moments to create and build lots of innovative solutions, and really for each and every one of you to really dive deep, explore new skills and knowledge that you want to gain, and to kind of further develop them as well as you go along together with us in this journey. So Hack Singapore, how you can participate is really to start choosing one of the three tracks that is available at the hackathon itself. And these three tracks are namely the era of blockchain and trust, which really it's about trust in blockchain technology, where we welcome you to work on projects based off your knowledge or interest in blockchain and trust, to really have creative ways of applying this knowledge into real world issues, utilizing blockchain and trust technologies in digital economy today. The next one is the rise of no code and low. This track really targets people from technical and non-technical backgrounds to really come together and have the opportunity to showcase your talent and potential through utilizations of no-code, low-code applications, where you build and create different types of applications or tools that targets certain, issues that you see that can be utilized to make things better, to make workflow much smoother and all. And last but not least, we're really looking into the future of gaming. With recent years, as the demand skyrocketed for new gaming platforms, deeper levels of interactions and all, it's really a track for you to challenge yourself how you can build different video games or even gaming tools to kind of redefine what the gaming industry is. And that's really up to you in your call. So after having to choose a track that you'd like to participate in, the next step is really to select which of the categories that you want to build your project on. A challenge statement is definitely an added difficulty where we have more parameters set in place to be able to solve a problem statement for you to tackle. This challenge statement really requires teams to have more perspective, greater skills, and of course some courage to kind of take on because they can be quite challenging in my opinion. And of course, teams will be highly rewarded for taking on challenge statements. On the other hand, we do have an open hack where we are exploring the endless possibilities that's actually available out there. It's really for teams to tap upon your innovative side and explore what are the various options that you can have while tackling the issues that is stated on the statement itself, and of course, to really make the world a better place as well. So let me dive a little bit deeper on what are the various tracks in individual challenge statement and open hack. For the era of blockchain and trust, the challenge statement is really about thinking different, how you can help trade trust to find an alternative blockchain that complies to a list of mandatory properties to help engage some of the issues that the trade trust is facing on. Is really about how we can move out from the Ethereum main network to make transactional costs much more efficient and effective and lower as well in that case. For the open hack, it's really about using your knowledge of blockchain and trust technology, where digital trust is really about areas such as blockchain, AI, and privacy preserving technologies as well. And it's really for teams to demonstrate solutions that can address the gap in the digital economy today. For the prizes for the blockchain track, the challenge statement team winner will walk away with $10,000 in prize money. We will get hackathon swags and some networking opportunity with our sponsor, which is IMD in this case. And for open hack, you will walk away with $5,000 prize money, along with hackathon hoodies, and also similarly some networking opportunities with our sponsors as well. Next will be the rise of no-code and low-code. The challenge statement here is really in partnership with one of our community partner, the Food Bank Singapore, to formulate a volunteer-to-task management system that is all-encompassing and streamlines the applications of volunteers to tasks or activities that they are facing right now. Right now, there's actually some of the mismatch that's actually happening, really an opportunity for you to help work out a potential solution. The open hack, on the other hand, is really about building any low-code, no-code solutions. It can be an applications or tools. And the objective here is really to assist the organizations in social services sector to build, to help them work on better workflows that they can look at in their day-to-day work as well. For the no-code, low-code track, challenge statement team winner will walk away with $6,000 in prize money. Similarly with hackathon hoodies that they can have for each of the team members as well. For the open hack, it'll be $4,000 in prize money, similarly winning the hackathon swag as well. Next is the future of gaming. The challenge statement over here is really about looking at the new era of internet, which is called Web3. The challenge here is really to create a game or gaming features that involves things like NFTs, play-to models, or even decentralization to onboard users into this cryptographic world as well. A little bit of knowledge that will be equipped throughout this hackathon for you to work on this track as well. For the open hack track, we are really looking at innovative solutioning for the future of gaming. It's really a great opportunity for those gaming geeks over here to really look at how you can transform the current gaming industry through literally a new video game that you can really create out of this hacking period, or even gaming tools that you can build to integrate some of the current gaming games that are really out there as well. For gaming tracks, the challenge statement winners, the team itself will walk away with $6,000 prize money and hackathon hoodies. And the open hack was similarly, as the no code, low code track will walk away with $4,000 prize money as well. So in this hackathon, it's really us providing you with all the help there is needed to really get you started, get you going, get you building, and eventually be able to work on something submitted as your project. During this opportunity itself, there are lots of resources and help that is available at the hackathon. The moment that you have actually registered, to be directed to the hackers checklist, where there will be nine different steps where to help you get started, from team formation guide to resources that you can look at, and also where you can get various help from various platforms in the time of you working on the different projects as well. This checklist will include how you can look for fellow team members to be able to form a group together in case you are joining the hackathon. As an individual, you definitely can find like-minded people to actually form the team. Or if you have friends who are joining the hackathon together to form a team, there are steps to help you along as well. Specifically to this hackathon, we have created a list of resources to increase your knowledge and to help you get started on any of the track that you are working at. Most importantly, we have mentors and help desk ready on our official Slack channel, where you can reach out to these mentors for help at any point of time, be it technical or non-technical aspects of your project building. We have that they are there and have allocated their time to commit themselves to help you along in this project as well. A brief overlook on how your journey with us, Hack Singapore, it's a 3 months plus long kind of journey. However, we have broken out in various focus point that you can look at in January, where we are going to kickstart the hackathon through a opening ceremony. We have activities to help you network, form teams, and to get your ideation process going on. And to help combat the current pandemic issues, and potentially we are looking at people who might be joining elsewhere as well. We have created a virtual space called a hackerspace, where this will be a virtual area where you can meet your team on a weekly basis to discuss projects, to play some games as well. And it's really a space where we kind of like break the physical barrier that we might face in today's world and today's situation. In February and March is really on the building phase. We have mentor office hours where you will get allocated time with different mentors, and they will help you through with any questions that you have on the hackathon, be it the product aspect of things, the user experience, the technical side of projects. We have them all covered for you. And of course, other community events that have workshops to get you going and get you acquainted better on different platforms and technologies as well. During the last leg of the project building, we have a networking event that is planned for as well. That's really an opportunity for you to let your hair down and to kind of like enjoy meeting new people and get to meet new friends with this current situation that we are going. And April will be the day where we have submissions, judges deliberations, and we will shortlist finalists who will have some time to prepare their project better and to pitch the project at the grand finale stage as well. More details on that will be shared later on a later date as well. On the first half of the events that you can look at, here are some of the key ones that to kind of help you take note as well. On the 5th of January, we will officially kickstart the hackathon. That's what we call the opening ceremony. It's really for us to share what the hackathon is in deep detail, which includes project submissions, what the requirements that you should look at when you're building a project, and what are some of the key important information and rules you need to take note of, and who are the mentors that you can reach out to, etc. Follow which on the 19th of January, we have our very first in-person networking event. The sole objective is really for you to meet new people and form teams, even bring some of your friends who are still kind of unsure whether you want to join us. You can kind of grab your friends along and to join us at this session. Do note that we have a limited number of seats to 50 packs. So it really comes on a first come, first serve basis, and more information will be released along next week before we go to the holidays as well. As I mentioned earlier on, Hackerspace will start on the 26th of January, and it will be a virtual hangout place that will take place every week. Do know that it's kind of on every Wednesday. The only special day that we kind of shifted it will be on 4th of February because Chinese New Year, it's on a Wednesday, and we just don't want to disturb your celebration as well. But note that this really be a space for teams to come in together to discuss about the project and to network as well. And most importantly, it's really an opportunity for you to meet different people and to form a community of people, of learners, and well, to make more friends as well. Next up in February, we will start to introduce mentor office hours. This will be bi-weekly sessions that will take place at Hackerspace itself. We do have tech and non-tech mentors that are already available, where each team will have 20 minutes to have with the mentors to get any of your questions answered as well. Follow which we have 2 other community events. These are workshop based and potentially knowledge sharing. More information will be released closer to the date, and these are the sessions that will be only open to participants of the hackathon itself. So now you'll be wondering, how do I get started as well? The most important thing of all is really to get registered for the hackathon. For registration of the hackathon, does not only unlock exclusive content such as resources, the help that you will need, and more information about all the various community events that you can actually attend as a participant of the hackathon. All team members will also need to be registered in order to qualify for the prize money as well. Meaning that if you happen to submit a project where not all the team members are registered, even if the project is a winning project, we may potentially have to forfeit the prize money for that. So really, really important step to do. On top of that, while you have registered for the hackathon, an email will be dropped into your mailbox that have a lot of key information that you will need to take note of. One will be the participant guide, which any participant should start bookmarking them, and really to join our official Slack and Telegram channel. Slack will be a space where you get all the help that you need from a mentor specifically. Telegram will be somewhere where you can get handy announcements as well. So specifically for those who are on our Telegram group chat right now, I do kind of urge you to actually get registered if you have interest to join us. It's really a great opportunity for you to learn different technologies as well along the way. Last but not least, during this entire session, I will encourage you all to actually save the hackathon calendar, which will be in the email that we send to you upon registration as well, in order to not miss out any of the important things that you look at. So now's the time for me to kind of answer any questions that you have in this time. Similarly, like I mentioned earlier on, you can either grab your mobile phone right now to scan the QR code, which will bring you directly to a space where you can drop your questions. Or alternatively, if you find it a little more comfortable for you to log in via your browser, you can actually open the tab and key in www.menti.com and enter the code 44803745. And thanks, Zale, for putting it into a chat box as well, which you can refer to it. So let me just quickly cover through. So, first question. Low-code, no-code, how does this tie with blockchain? Any example of implementations that use blockchain? Basically, these are two separate tracks that we are looking at as well. No-code, low-code is really looking at technologies that uses, I would say, very little coding, where you can use different API integrations or different tools that you can look at to build even things like a website, for example, a app application, to make things, to make workflow much easier in that sense. Whereas blockchain will be a separate track where we kind of utilize your knowledge on, firstly, if it's the challenge statement, it's how you can suggest an alternate blockchain for trade trust to look at that help meet the operational needs of them while checking through a mandatory list of properties that you need to look at while making the suggestions. Of course, the open hack is really for you to look at how you can tackle some of the current digital economy gaps that you see that you can look at as well. Next question. So Hackerspace is actually located at this space called Gather Town. Instructions will actually be sent to all the participants. Unfortunately, the Hackerspace is only open to all the participants for the hackathon itself. So once you're registered and you will receive your participant guide. And similarly, if you have saved the event calendar, details about how to join the space will actually be made available. And we want to keep it inclusive for people who are participating in the hackathon to access both the community events, which will be held there moving forward, and also the mentors as well. So there's practically no deadline in terms of teams to be firmed up, but ideally, I would say that a great timeline to really look at it will be for you to form team during the first few weeks of January. That's also where the objective of the networking event that's happening on the 19th of January in person, for you to kind of like really kind of meet different people, to have a chat with them, to understand them a little bit better before you form the team, especially if you're coming as an individual as well. And yes, teams can still, changes to a team can still be made, and instructions will be given on the participant guide as well. So don't feel that you'll be constrained to a particular group, but just know that you have the flexibility to kind of ask them, change them as well. Yes, you can add team members along the way as well. In the registration process, there will be an opportunity where you can, if you come in with the team form, maybe you only have 2 or 3%, but the maximum has 4. You can keep your status with your team as looking for to add members as well, and that way you will still open an opportunity for people to join you along the way as well. Yes, so usually a hackathon will be a short runway itself. The reason why we kept it long, it's because different people are at different walks of life. Especially we have a majority of group who belong to the student body, as well as even on working adults as well. What we wanted to do is really to spread out the different opportunities for you to meet your mentors, to build the projects in the midst of really balancing what your studies would be, your work would be. And I guess it's also a great opportunity for you to really deep dive into a technology and to come up with a solution that really can be furthered post the hackathon as well. Yep. So the judging weightages, we will go through during the opening ceremony itself. But in a nutshell, each project will be judged by 4 criteria of each 5 points of equal weightage. So each project will have a total of 20 points that they will be assessed by. And I would say a product will minimally has to be workable, because at the end of the day, the hackathon itself will really be judging both on the coding aspect of a product, as well as the idea of things as well. This will be how the projects will be worked on. Yes, so even though this is a Singapore-based hackathon, if you are based somewhere around the world, we welcome you to join as well to really participate. It's really boiled down to one of the four objective that we want to hit for Hack Singapore is really to build a community where different talents will really come in together to really make the world a better place. So you are welcome wherever you are based in to participate at the hackathon as well. Yes, it doesn't have to be. In that case, just low-code, no-code, and blockchain will be unrelated in this case. Yes, you can join regardless of your level of experience and knowledge on any of the technology, and especially with coding. The reason why it's because we do have a curated list that will really help you get started on coding for one. Of course, on the other end, if you think that might be something that might be a little bit too difficult for you to challenge, there is also a reason why we have a no-code, low-code, where you can focus more on the product building, on solutioning, rather than upskilling on the technical aspect of things. But overall, we do have mentors to help you along as well, and resources to get you going with regards to the technical aspect of coding as well. Yes, you can bring a friend along on the 19th of January, as much as the session is open to participants who have registered for the hackathon. They will get access to be able to sign up for the in-person event. Each of the participants who have registered to join us for the in-person event will be able to bring a friend along as well. And feel free to bring them. The more the merrier, and it's always about sharing the good things together with your friends as well. So for the physical session on the 19th of January, we are hosting it at this place called Bridge Plus. You can kind of Google Maps it. Basically, it's going to be at Tanjong Pagar, really near the train station as well. And more details about that will be released along the way. So back to the same questions, we do have curated resources to help you along. Similarly with the mentors, we do have other technical workshops that's going to take place on the community events as well that will help us along. If you're on our Telegram group chat as well, constantly we'll be posting on some of the posts to help us know what are some of your interest area that you like, and that's something that we will help you along to get you there along the way, and also the reason why we kind of like keep the hackathon a little bit longer as well. Yes, so the challenge statement itself is a problem statement that you can look at. More information about the open hack and challenge statement will be available both during the opening ceremony itself and also available on the participants guide if you have registered. Of course, more questions you can kind of like check with us, the organizing team as well. So as I mentioned earlier on, you don't necessarily have to be from Singapore to participate in this hackathon. Everyone around globally will be welcome to join as well. And yes, there will be swag. So apart from the winners, will be getting a hackathon hoodie as part of the winning prize. We will be giving out swags during the in-person events that we're looking at for both 19th of January and also looking hopefully to kind of have it in 16th of March. On top of that, all the participants who have registered and eventually submit a project will also be entitled to the swag as well. And last question before I kind of wrap up the sessions. So the form currently allows you to only choose one statement as well. And even if your team is not decided and all this information will be available on the participant guide as well. Similarly, if you happen to change your track or challenge statement that you want to go ahead, you can do so at any point of time along the way as well. So don't feel like you are going to be stuck with one that you have chosen during the registration itself. And yes, last question. I'm so sorry I have to take this as the last question. For the 5th of January, session will be held in this particular format wherever it is as well. However, post the event, we will actually host it up on our YouTube channel, which you can have it as a point of reference. But it's highly recommended for you to attend in person just so that if you have any questions with regards to the hackathon, you can get them answered as well. Right. So I'm going to stop the question here. And just before we end today's session, it's really for us to look at last reminder. Most importantly, during the hackathon itself, what I will still encourage all of you is that if I have managed to pipe the interest to join the hackathon, I'll recommend you to start scanning the QR code that you see on the screen. That will bring you to the registration form to register for the hackathon itself. As I mentioned earlier on, by registering, you will really get exclusive access to not just the resources and content. Some of the community events that we have planned out for the hackathon itself are also targeted only for the participants as well. So if you like the opportunity to attend the workshops, to meet new folks, and to be acquainted in knowledge on some of the technologies that's really available for the sessions itself, I'll recommend you to really join us as a participant at the hackathon as well. Of course, the next couple of steps will be to join us either on the Telegram or the Slack channel, where the Slack channel will be where help can be found with our mentors, and you will be a direct contact with the mentors on this case. And last but not least, an opportunity for you to save the hackathon calendar will be up for you to save in the email that we send to you the moment you have registered for the hackathon itself. So, thank you all for joining the session for today, and I hope that you will kind of have some understanding of what Hack Singapore is and what some of the important aspects about the hackathon. Of course, along the way, if you have any questions for us, do feel free to drop an email to hacksg@tribex.co. Alternatively, you can reach out to Zale or myself via our individual email, which is either justin@tribex.co or zale@tribex.co. We will be happy to answer any questions that you have. And of course, do follow us on our Instagram, Twitter, and Telegram, of which where all the announcements and all the information about the hackathon will be released on these places as well. Of course, as I mentioned, exclusive access to our community events will only be made available on Slack and to any of our participants the moment that they have registered as well. So thank you all for taking the time to join us today. Once again, my name is Justin, the host and the project manager for Hack Singapore. None other than that, I will be looking forward to all of you who will join us eventually at the hackathon and the opening ceremony on the 5th of January. Till then, any questions, we'll be happy to answer as well. Thank you. Have a nice day. Goodbye.